I was really excited to get off work today and load my gear in the back of the truck. And I was excited because for the first time I was going to create a video showing what I carry into the woods. And on my way home from work, I heard that Charlie Kirk had been assassinated. And this video is not to bring politics or political views into Watson Outdoor, and we will not be talking politics now or in future videos. But there are two things I want to say. The first one is this shit's got to stop. I don't know how bad things have to get before people will finally begin to wake up and do something about it. But the world I grew up in, I feel like it has drastically changed in the last 5 years. That's the first point. This shit's got to come to a stop. The second point is, as polarizing as Charlie Kirk was, I was neither for him or against him, only knew of him. He did what every American has a God-given right to do. And from the content and the times that I had seen or watched his content, to me, he seemed like he enjoyed debating and not just accepting things as they were, but challenging others to give their point of view, and then explaining to them why it might not be right. He fostered an open, collaborative, and communicative debate. So, for him to have been shot today at a university, doing the thing that he loved to do, and I truly believe that he cared about our country, it doesn't sit right with me. You know, it's just last year they tried to assassinate our president. And when I say they, I'm not referring to the left or the right. Honestly, I don't know who our enemy is at this point. It's pure chaos. But it's got to stop. And I'm going to leave it at this. I'm going to ask that if you're watching this, that you pray for his family. He leaves behind a wife and 2 children. He's only 31 years old, and he damn sure didn't deserve to be assassinated. And it's not something that should be celebrated. This is a matter of principle. And it's just shocking to me what I've seen since I've got home on my Facebook or on the internet. It's downright depressing. It's scary. There are some sick people in the world. And I know this isn't the topic of the video, but I'll just put it this way. My perspective of things has drastically changed recently, and I'm fearful for the future. Not for my future, but my family's future, and what things are going to come, and the world that the kids are going to grow up in. So, pray for Charlie Kirk's family. And yeah, today's a sad day. Now, we're going to get into this because I need to get the truck loaded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my primary gear that I would carry into the woods, and I will carry in my secondary gear, or I'll show you my secondary gear as well. Hopefully the video doesn't get too long, but this is going to be straight to the point. We'll start with the newest additions to the primary setup. We have replaced our platform. The wife talked me into getting a tethered Predator. I have not tested this yet, but I will tell you, out of the box, this is a really nice machined platform. This is the small version. I almost got the XL, but I decided not to because this one ties into the back of my saddle. I've already modified it to include my clips so that I can clip it into my saddle. Very nice platform. I don't think I'm going to have any negative thoughts about this platform. I think it's going to work out great. It's a very, very high quality product. I'm very happy with it. We'll be testing it this season. Second newest addition to the primary setup is the video that you've probably seen. The tree pole. There's a video out there on how we made this. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. It's a great video. We will be shooting a follow-up video of it very soon. And in that video, we will address some of the biggest complaints that we received in that video, which was noise and that it looks very tiring to use. Both points which are muted and completely untrue. Also, we're going to show you something new that if you're a private land owner and hunter, you can modify this pole to do, and it will be very useful for you. Last newest addition to the setup is I have taken my old backpack and turned it into a secondary backup backpack because it's getting old. It's got some holes in it. It's getting real frayed. Handle's about done on it. And replaced it with a new backpack. This is a Badlands backpack. I think it's an ATX3. I'll put a link up in the description. It's the small one. It has camelback capability. It's got a clip system in the bottom for carrying your climbing sticks. I'm going to use it to clip into my saddle. And it's got two clips on the front of it for carrying, again, climbing sticks or whatever you want to carry with it. I would probably use it to carry my bow. We'll put this off the side because we are going to get into it. Now we're into primary gear that has been multi-season tested that I love. The first one is this Ned Foss hatchet. I keep this razor sharp and it mounts to my saddle. When I am in the woods, this hatchet will be with me. I use it for all kinds of things, from splitting a pelvis to minor limb trimming, to collecting firewood, you name it. It's just a very, very useful tool. So I always have my hatchet with me. Primary and most preferred hunting setup is going to be my homemade saddle. On this saddle, we have my pouch that I use to carry my main camcorder. We have a military surplus food bag on the side, which I use to carry my climbing gear in, everything but the rope. We have the saddle. We have an integrated clip system that I installed for clipping my saddle to the back, or clipping my platform to the back of my saddle. We have a water bottle carrier that I make use of. I generally will have a secondary Powerade in here because I drink a lot of fluids when I get out in the woods. We have some random tethers tied into it so that if I want to dangle my climbing sticks from this, if that day my choice of climbing method is my climbing sticks. We have my hatchet loop, which my hatchet integrates into, so it's always on my side. And then we have a pouch that has a spare carabiner on it that I like to clip this to my chest so that I can hang my bow from it. I also normally keep this, another really nice hook that's extremely useful. I use this for all kinds of things. It's just handy dandy. It's not very heavy. And I don't know why I added this to my system. I think I bought a smaller, I thought I was getting a smaller hook and this big one came in. So it just made its way into the system. And yeah, I use this thing for all kinds of things. This is a very useful gadget to have. Yep. So a big S hook. In our pouch, we have one Cyclops eye. We have a Coast flashlight. It's very bright. I love it. It's metal. I have a range finder. So I will use this when I get up in the tree. I will look at different trees, and as soon as it's light enough to see, I start ranging various areas around my stand and mentally memorizing the ranges. I will not have this out when I'm getting ready to take a shot, unless it's a long shot. Generally, I use this to confirm in my mind the 15 or 20 yard point, 10 yards, 30 yards. Because if you're 20 feet up off the ground, your perspective can change. So I'll use this to gain intel at the very beginning of the hunt, and it rarely comes back out. We have a hanging system for your bow, backpack, any gear that you want to dangle off of. We have a small saw. I rarely use this. Normally just use my hatchet, but I keep it just in case. Primo's can call. This is great for calling in does. Not really great for bucks, but great for does. Just blowing it. Sounds like a fawn in distress. I have some rope. I have a knife, small knife, and that's what's in this pouch. In our food surplus pack, these are all very critical items. I pretty much will use them every hunt. My stocking socks. This is just a pair of latex covered socks. Very lightweight. A pair of good shears. Rappel system with friction tape wrapped carabiner. Ascension foot loop and Ascension hand grab. Again, friction tape wrapped carabiners. Tree tether, friction tape wrapped carabiner. That's a new modification I've made recently. Platform strap, backup platform strap. This is a secondary safety strap. Shoulder strap for when I want to be extra comfortable in my saddle. This is a Latitude Outdoors back strap. And then a 8mm prusik for tying in a secondary canoe hitch in my Ascension system. Some of you are like, man, you got so much gear. It is what it is. It's lightweight, and I use all of it. It's my preferred method. And I used to be a tree stand hunter. So that's the saddle. Backpack. 2 extra carabiners just in case. And I just put them up, but this is an unwrapped carabiner, so it's noisy. Baseball cap that my wife made for me, put leaves all over it. It goes into the woods with me, always. We have a camera clamp system. Adhesive wrap. I have my face cover. We have a poncho. We have more rope. We have Ziploc baggies. We have 2X shopping bags and a rubber bandy. This is super lightweight, and if you got to cross a creek that's above your ankles or slightly above your ankles, I put these over my feet so my boots, I don't get wet socks. It's so light, it's not really, it doesn't take up a lot of space, so I just keep it in the bottom of my backpack with my zippies. That's the primary use of them anyway. Also, a secondary use of them is if I've got my really expensive camera gear out and it's going to start raining, I'll pull those out and put them over my cameras to keep them from getting wet. We have latex gloves, a small medical kit, first aid kit. This is just Tylenol and Band-Aids, paired with, if I get a pretty serious cut, bandage. I do keep a first aid kit in the truck as well. I have some blood trailing tape. This is for tracking at night, especially if you're in the deep woods where it's really easy to get lost and you don't got good cell phone signal. I have a skinning knife. I always carry at least 2 knives. One will be a skinning knife. The second one will actually be somewhere where I can reach it. And you will see that in a second. So that's the main, or the backup zipper. In the main zipper, oh, water bottle. Main zipper, we have my climbing rope, which is caught on something. This is 80 foot of rope. You do not need 80 foot of rope. 60 foot will do you just fine. I do like the extra 10 feet on each side. We have a 4th arrow camera arm system that stays in this pouch because it's very sharp and I've nicked myself a few times on it. This is super lightweight. It's aluminum and it's just a really solid camera arm. So I like it a lot. It's for my Panasonic camera. What's not in the backpack right now, but will make its way into the backpack, is my camera batteries. Oh, the other clip system. I carry 2 of these in my backpack, not one. The other one's in use. Also, what's not in the backpack is wet wipes. I will have wet wipes in the side pocket, and then also snacks if I'm doing an all-day sit. So my backpack is pretty heavy, but a lot of the gear, it has a lot of gear in it that is ultra lightweight, so it's not as heavy as it could be. I've definitely carried a heavier backpack than this. It's optimized for my camera gear and for all-day sits. So that's the primary, this is the primary hunting system that I pretty much hunt 90% of the time with. Now we'll get into, let's go ahead and go over cameras real fast. Cameras I will carry into the woods include a Panasonic HC VX981 with a double battery pack. I will also have 2 more batteries and a microphone mounting system. This will either mount to my 4th Arrow camera arm, or it will mount to the small rig tripod that we're currently using to film. I have a DJI Action 4 action camera. This will normally be mounted in the tree. I have a chest mount or a head mount. I normally only carry one of these into the woods. The other one stays in the backup backpack. I don't always use this. I'm getting better at using it. It's got a bit of a learning curve, but I have a Hollyland mic set that I just actually figured out how to make work with my cell phones. So that's what I'm wearing right now. I like the sound quality of it for vocals. I tend to use my camera microphones for the sounds of nature. And then situational use, set of binos. And then depending on how long I'm going to be hunting, this is a battery pack for charging gear. And then it has a solar system on the top of it. If I'm going to be camping for 3 or 4 days, this comes in handy. Specific situational gear is next. Climbing sticks. I always keep climbing sticks in the back of the truck. I rarely use them, but there are situations where I will use them. This is a set of Hawk Helium climbing sticks that have been modified. I have cut them by 1/3. I prefer not to use these because they weigh 8.2 pounds. And honestly, they're kind of a pain to get up a tree with. I normally will only use these if somebody else is going into the woods with me or my wife is attending the hunt. Millennium ultralight lock-on tree stand that is modified. I have affixed to the bottom of this a water bottle pouch. It has a strap here for strapping climbing sticks to it as needed. And then we have another military surplus bag mounted to the bottom of it. And this is for carrying the essentials such as the climbing stick straps, a safety tether. I think a lineman's belt's in here. There's the tree stand strap. Hey, there's some wet wipes. There's a backup strap. some old wet wipes. Just looking for those. And that's it on those, on that. Again, this is generally situational. My wife, this used to be my favorite, it still is my favorite stand, but I used to hunt purely stand, and then I got introduced to saddles and I just liked them more. So this has played less of a role in my hunting as time has gone on. It's more so now suited for guest hunters or my wife when she wants to go. I like this particular stand because it's only 8 pounds. It's very light, and it has a very nice, big, comfy seat on it. So this is my favorite stand I've ever owned. And then last but not least is the backup backpack. So the backup backpack carries a spare poncho, 2 different calls if I want to swap my calls out, which I forgot to mention. I'll show that here in a second. Some extra rope. Can never have too much rope. It's got my rattling antlers, which I do use a lot during season when it's the right time. It's got some bug spray. It's got a blaze orange hat. It's got a camouflage hat. And it pretty much carries all my camera mounts and a backup lineman belt. I got some extra straps in here. Yeah, that's pretty simple. Nothing too crazy. So this is like the gear swap out backpack. I need to put some extra batteries in it, but I'll keep that in the truck. So like I need to grab something, I always have everything I need. Last item, which this will go in the spare backpack. This is a throw rope. It's useful during the daytime, and if I want to put up a permanent paracord cord, because I really like my stand, I typically will go back to the tree, throw this up there, tie a piece of paracord to it, run the loop up in the tree, and set the paracord permanently. So this is a quick way to get paracord in a tree. I do not recommend using this in the dark. It sucks. It also has a pretty steep learning curve. For those of you wanting to get into learning how to throw a throw rope, pretty steep learning curve. The last thing I'm testing out this season is, I've tried it once, but it's the Sawyer permethrin. So I'm trying this out this season. So far, I've had some pretty good results. It keeps the mosquitoes off my clothes, and it doesn't have a strong scent, but doesn't really work for the face. So I'm still trying to figure that out. Use good old Deep Woods Off or Sportsman, I think is what it's called. Because the mosquitoes in Georgia are bad. But so far, it seems pretty effective. And if you stuck around this long, do me a favor. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching all the way to the end. If I use a lot of the same gear that you use, put up in the comment. If you use something different or you got recommendations, put that in the comment too. I'm always willing to learn something new. The last 2 things I forgot. My primary call is an extinguisher. And then there's my backup knife right there on my strap. And I always carry it where it's within reach, because you never know when you're going to need it. So Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time.